I see Facebook posts occasionally, where people pour out their heart, and then insights and thoughts come to me, and I like to muse about it, not at all to criticize or shame or embarrass the person. These are usually subject matter that affects and pertains to all of us. The basic human needs that are being expressed. And so the topic for this musing is this friend was bemoaning the fact that even though they have poured out their energy and their life into other people 100%, often and usually they find themselves abandoned when they are in need, and all the friends that seemingly were close are nowhere to be found and are unreliable, right? And yeah, I feel that. But of course I had to reason myself through that as well. Loyalty is a program that the world society has imprinted on us. Loyalty at all costs, right? But I made a video about that a couple of weeks ago. Loyalty is really a karmic bond, and it gets us in trouble. And we were programmed into codependency, that we're there for each other. That's the tribal blueprint. But we're no longer living in the environment of the small village tribe where truly everyone had each other's back. We are a disconnected humanity now. We're only connected by technology, not by location, not by vocation. We're not sharing a common space, and because we're all so divided and individuated, we have all become weak to a degree, and because most of us are enslaved to the system, our resources to be there for each other are very thin or depleted, because often we have to overcome such great distance, or it's such a financial gap. It's not doable as what it once was in the small villages where communities were truly tight-knit. Now, what is mostly expressed is the disappointment over the letdown, the betrayal, the abandonment. And these things are rooted more deeply in our emotional body, our psychological body, and the programming that we hold in there, right? First of all, we have a whole lot of programming that has disempowered us, that has sold us the idea that we need other people to be okay, we need other people to be happy, we need other people to be content. And this codependency is very taxing, and it's almost an unreasonable expectation to say, you know, I will always have your back. In fact, I would never say that I will always have your back, because I have learned that life situations do not always afford us the ability to have each other's backs. Certainly not constantly. A person can only give of the resources that are available, and of the mental and emotional resources that are available to dispense. And as I said, this society, this life, taxes most of us so much that we don't have a whole lot left to give. You know, and usually the help, the needs are so large that one individual can't meet them. And the fact is, those emotional resources are going to deplete and exhaust in individuals at one point or another. And there's always going to be that letdown. I have experienced it on many occasions, and that has forced me to adopt a different strategy. That has forced me to become my own supply, to become reliant on myself, emotionally and psychologically at least. Right? So far, the world system is providing the material needs with food and shelter and utilities, etc. Those needs are met, at least in my case, but the mental health and the psychological health and the emotional health will have to be met by ourselves, and that requires the diligent shadow work of removing erroneous belief systems, you know, like I said before, that have disempowered us into helpless human beings. And I, in the meanwhile, have found out that's not true. I have become a very self-empowered individual by getting rid of all the subconscious programming that diminished me as a person, that told me that I can't save myself, I can't help myself emotionally and psychologically. Well, yes, I can. And I did. And at least I am emotionally and psychologically and mentally strong and independent, that the abandonment issues of other people don't affect me that strongly anymore, that I don't have this codependency on having friends that always have my back. Somehow I always have what I need. The universe always brings me what I need, as far as what I cannot accomplish in myself. But so much of our countenance, so much of our being depends on our emotional health, right? And that's what I am always pointing to. You have to become your own source. And as in the case of my friend, feeling so disconnected from society and from his tribe, usually has to do because we are feeling so disconnected from ourselves. And to change the trajectory, and instead of trying to have a relationship with everyone else, it's time to learn to have a relationship with yourself, right? When you have a relationship with yourself, when you nurture, like, how can I use the example? Your soul. You can treat your soul as your girlfriend. Okay? Treat your soul as your bride and pamper it. Treat it as your best friend, right? Connect with yourself. Connect with yourself in self-love, in self-acceptance, in self-forgiveness, in non-judgment. See, that's where you have to work through your shadows, the programming that will make you want to run away from yourself. Because there's so much programming that makes you look bad, makes you feel ashamed of yourself or embarrassed. All of that you've got to clear out, because you, your soul, are your only friend that will never let you down. So you have to make your soul your ally, right? And then when you finally achieve connection with yourself, when you finally removed all the beliefs and thoughts that are contrary to you, then you will feel at home in yourself. And you don't need to be connected to the world. When you're connected to self, you will be content. And you will find joy. And you will also be more magnetic to other people. But again, not in that codependent attachment style, but simply in your sovereignty. You just have more to give rather than more to need, right? You become a complete person. So anyways, I'm already beyond 12 minutes here. All my messages will always direct you to yourself, because that, according to my experience, is the only way. It's the only way to happiness and contentment, and the way to diminish the disappointment, because we let go of the egoically programmed expectations of the world. The more expectations you have, the more you are going to be let down. So work on letting go of the expectations. Does anybody really owe you anything? That's a good question.